This is Slimy from jeepestream@gmail.com. Hey, today I'm going to go over with you guys the start of my snorkel install. Probably been over on YouTube, I don't know how many times and everything, but what I'm going to start on as far as getting it going. So basically I took the box out. That's pretty self-explanatory. You've got 3 bolts that through the bottom of the air box. And then you've got your hose that goes to this. You can take it loose from there or to the throttle body, whatever one, to the lid of it. And then you got your filter. And in the snorkel, you got this piece right here. What I'm gonna have to do, one, I've got 2 broken studs down here, and then the third one's crapped for all 3 of these. Plus, I want to make this sealed up as possible, just sealed up good. This piece right here is going to go right here, and this is one of those Chinese aftermarket snorkels that they make. So it's not just all fit. I'm gonna have to grind a little bit off of this area right here, and maybe a little bit off right there. I'm not sure. Looks like I might have to make it fit on there nice and snug, and then silicone the crap out of it whenever you put it on there. So the way this snorkel runs is kind of odd. You can run a snorkel so many different ways. Everybody has their ideas, cow snorkels, everything else. I'm running a cow snorkel on Project Millennium later. This Jeep, I'll be running the cow snorkel. What I'm going to do on that is I'm going to run it right up on, not this side, but the other side over there. I'm going to run it up through there and then around. And I'm going to use a TJ Wrangler as a throttle body tube, and then I'm going to hook an inline filter right to there and get rid of the air box over here completely, and just have it all right here going to there and sucking in air there. And then I'll have another, I'll have extra room for another battery, because this one's going to be like my bug out vehicle, so it's going to have. There's a snorkel that I'm putting on. Pretty simple. It's Chinese. It's that SJXJAA whatever, blah blah blah. And the tube, don't care for it. You can run a different one. I'll probably run it for now, maybe, and then I'll probably go to PVC or something different. There's the top hardware and a bracket for the side. Put the rivets through. This right here did have a template, which I went ahead and used, and you need a 3-inch hole saw and a lot of silicone. So what I did on this was I went ahead and stripped the plastic liner all the way that was up here on both sides. Don't need it. It's plastic. It's crap. I don't need it. Yeah, it does kind of protect it from getting junk in there. Well, actually, it actually keeps junk in there. It just keeps crap in there. But anyway, so I pulled all that out. Right here, you have your windshield wiper cleaner bottle. It starts right here, goes all the way up around, and it's got the 2 little motors down here for it. Disconnect that, which is this right here, and your little feed line. I'm keeping those. I'm thinking about bug out vehicles, so I might use them for something else. They're little pumps, kind of cool. But your hose is gonna run up here, which you can see these sharp screws. Those are gonna have to be ground down or replaced, because I don't want them getting my hose for sure. it actually is going to come in right here, down, wrap around, and then go back up here, and then in somewhere right in here to meet the snorkel. I do not, however, care for those going in here. I wish I could actually, I could do it a different way and run it somewhere else. However, busted. I can drill straight through, cut these off, and put new bolts and just run them straight through. However, I want to seal the crap out of them if I do it. I'd rather just have like 1 or 2 bolts instead of 3. As least amount of holes as I can keep in my airbox, the better. So we'll see how to go from there. Alright guys, so I got the hole drilled, cleaned my airbox up, got that, I just ground those studs off, or well, these were actually bolts going through nuts, or welded nuts, but this one up in here is a stud. Drilled me a 3-inch hole. Right there. And then all I had was white, but I don't care, it's hidden, so. And I didn't have to pay for it. So pop riveted that on, silicone the crap out of it. Got that pop riveted. So that's that far. Stay on back. Hey man, this is the tube they give you, which really is awful. I'll probably use it for a little bit and then definitely swap it out later here. You can see up in there from your PCM, your main computer, right here you've got a couple of screws that poke through. Those are pretty sharp, so I'm gonna have to try to find a way to grind them out. And I've got it routed now. I use silicone that I had laying around. It's white, and I'm kind of anal about it. Probably don't have to do it this way, but better safe than sorry. I'm gonna be lining this whole thing anyway, so I'll be throwing liner underneath these fender wells. But I washered it. I actually had to cut those bolts or those nuts off, and then I just went through and washered it with a couple extra bolts I had from some seat brackets out of the parts Jeep. Got my 3-inch hole here, like I showed you, and I got the snorkel mounted on here. Looks pretty good. Came out good. You do, however, have to measure really well. I did very meticulously. I used the graph they had, or the template they had, and it was a pain in the butt. But make sure you get the, just make sure you take your time. I put a 3-inch hole inside here. I would recommend making it a little bigger, like maybe a 3 and you know, an extra 1/16 of an inch bigger, or a little more if you got enough play. If you know that for sure your measurements are good, mock it up, put it through there. I made this hole first, even though I had the template showing me where these bolt holes were. I made this hole first and then actually slipped it in and made sure that the bolts were gonna. I had the studs in these and Loctite them, made sure they were gonna actually fit up close to these holes, and they did, kind of, sorta. So I ended up changing that out a little bit. Another thing is, the reason why I'm saying making this hole bigger is because this piece, if there's a bind between these bolts, or, well, not even that, but if it's just a little bit curled or anything like that on this hole and it has to fit too tight, it will press the whole fender in and it won't get you tight on the front end. And by that I mean, this is tight. This is pretty good. This is about as good as you can get it. Right in here, it's about as good as it gets. But before that, it actually wasn't. So I had to take it back off and I had to go ahead and tighten or loosen that hole up just a little bit. And maybe the hole was just placed a little bit off, but not much. But that way you got some playroom and it's not going to put anything in the vine. So that's my suggestion. That's what I would do. I did silicone the box. You got a few holes and it's white. I know it's not pretty, but I siliconed my bolts and I went ahead and siliconed the holes. I'll probably redo this, I'm sure, but like I said, it's not supposed to be pretty, it's just supposed to be functional. I siliconed this, pop riveted this on as I showed you guys, and next is really just routing the hose and getting the hose on, which the hose will just go from right here in this front area, which I don't care for. I really don't like that, but it's gonna have to work for now. It'll go up here, and eventually I'll probably run this in PVC and just redo it. And how, I'm not sure yet, but I may run it out, and I may run an elbow right here or something and come up, and I don't know, but that's down the road. I'm just gonna run it right here, go up, and then right up into here where the snorkel come out on the other side of the fender here. And I'll probably use a couple zip ties, and I'm going to actually make a plate, some steel plate just out of some scrap, and either weld it or probably not weld it, probably use some self tappers, that way I can take it back off. Just a little plate that goes right up through here underneath the spinner well to guard the hose from rocks and crap like that.